All right, I just wanted to do a quick little video because I can't understand people. I'll never understand people. I fucking hate people. And I just need to talk about this. It'll be a quick little rant. It won't take long, I promise. So anyway, Chaim Bloom was fired. It's the right call. He deserved to be fired. Go back and watch I'll link it in the description, the post. All the reasons that Bloom got fired for, I tried to warn you about 2 years ago. You can't not care about the big league club and expect to keep your job in a city like Boston. So I just want to review something because it just drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. And this alone is a fireable offense. I'm sorry, but it is. Chaim Bloom was given the option to dump Chris Sale and he passed. Sorry, but anybody that's in charge of this team and fucking did that should be fired. End of story. So I wanted to review something. We have this new deal with the Newsbreak out. Shout out Newsbreak. Download it. Follow us. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend like this had earth-shattering views, but I just want to kind of dive into the comments because they're crazy. They're just crazy. So anyway, long story short, Bradford, insider for the Red Sox, WWE. I don't even know who he works for. I think he works for WEI, but I'm not even positive. Anyway, he basically reported that Bloom had the opportunity to trade Sale. This was last year. Keep this in mind. Last year. And it basically passed. Didn't get a big enough return. I don't know. It shouldn't have mattered what the return was. If you could dump his money, I think he's owed like 50 some $million. Let's just pull that up really quick. Right. So basically, all of this year's money would have been gone. And then next year, and then they got a club option, but I think they got to pay part of yeah. So a lot of fucking money, long story short. Anyway, let's dive into the comments here because they're just fucking bananas. This is the only correct take. He ran this team with no conviction. Correct. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. Stop putting these fucking nerds in charge. They don't know how to run a baseball team. They never have, and they never will. Everything is about the fucking numbers. Oh, well, the data suggests we should do this. Listen, if your data suggests that Franchi Cordero should play 80 games at first base, your information sucks. Bottom line. This is the comment that's just fucking hilarious. Can't even make it up. Garbage. They had the chance to dump Sale on his entire contract. I'm not the one that's reporting this as news. Okay? Bradford is. Can we just play the clip?
Chris Sale had hurt his hand, broke his finger in his hand.
Last year.
So you have a couple weeks before the deadline. A team offered to pay for Chris Sale's entire salary for the rest of the time and give players. And they wanted more play. They wanted better players. So they didn't do the deal.
Pause. I'm not reporting this, you fucking idiot. Bradford is. Okay? I'm using his report. And now it's come out that it's basically true. A bunch of people have said this now. I'm not the one reporting this. I'm not a newsbreaker. I've never pretended to be a newsbreaker. I consider myself a talent evaluator. That's what I think I'm the best at. I'm not a newsbreaker. Bradford reported this news. So this idea that Garbage had a chance to dump Sale on his entire contract. I'm not reporting this, A, and B, it's a fact. So fuck off.
So hang on.
So, and keep in mind, I don't even like this Jones guy. He's a bit of an ignorant piece of shit, especially what he said about Patrice Bergeron. But the comp that he uses here is 100% accurate.
There was a team that was willing to put the bill for Chris. You're free of Sale
after the broken finger
on the IL,
and they were going to give you players. What does that mean? Prospects, like lottery?
It might not even been like prospects.
Okay, well, who cares? So it would be like
to unload the contract.
It would be like when they unloaded.
It would have been 2.5 years of over 50 million.
It would have been like when they took back Ruby De La Rosa and Alan Webster for Adrian Gonzalez and Josh Beck. It would have been the same idea, right?
That's a perfect comp. Because that trade was one of the greatest trades that Ben Sherrington pulled off It basically set the stage for their next World Series team. It got them out from a lot of bad money. They were able to make these key signings like Napoli and Victorino. You remember that team? That trade opened the door to make those moves to build the next contender in Boston. So this idea that, again, garbage they had the chance to dump, say, I'm not reporting it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And again, this guy clearly doesn't fucking pay attention because the Mets were not paying Verlander last year. Again, can we go back to this? Last year. The Mets were not paying Verlander last year. They're paying Verlander this year. This guy is so fucking stupid. I don't even know what to say. Like, I just feel bad for some of these people. I don't want anything to do with their brains if this is how they function. Wild. Daubert, another factless media member looking for reads. Again, I'm reposting the information. You know, we're trying to get clicks. But again, I'm not reporting the fucking news. How can I possibly be criticized for making something up when I didn't report the news? It would be like anything. It would be like Adam Schefter reporting a trade. I'm doing a post on it and then be like, oh, well, that's false. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Anyway, Bloom did okay here. Look at the kids. Again, I've never argued the fact that he did a great job building up the minor league system. Have never once argued it. But again, this is now going to be the fifth place finish in 4 years. His one random ALCS trip was when he actually invested into the big league club, traded for Schwarber. What happened? Didn't keep Schwarber. Didn't keep Bogarts. He doesn't give a fuck. We've been over this 800 times. Look at all the waiver claims. It's waiver claim after waiver claim after waiver. Their entire roster is built off of waiver claims. He has put them in a position to be painfully average. They have some young talent. They don't have enough elite major league talent. It's going to cost him. It's going to cost him. He is the antithesis of Dave Dombrowski. Dave Dombrowski maybe cared a little bit too much about the major league team. He didn't care about the minor league system at all. Bloom is the opposite. What the Red Sox need is somebody who can do both. And it shouldn't be difficult to do both, but some people have flaws in their brains. Some people don't understand things. And the idea that he had the chance to get off of this contract. I mean, think about the domino effect that could have just happened getting off of this deal. Whether it be, I don't know, you could have reinvested that money into a Luis Castillo trade. You could have brought back Schwarber. You could have brought back Xander. So many different avenues that you could have gone just by getting rid of that money. And again, Sale hasn't been a total disaster, but he's been kind of close to one. He was great during his first 3 years in Boston. No denying that. Helped them win the World Series. But after that, I mean, he's not making any starts. The problem is he's never on the fucking mound. 9 starts, 2 starts, 18 starts. He's always down with something. And even this year, 4.66 isn't even that good. So yes, I don't think there should even be a fucking question. That alone, passing on the opportunity to get rid of Chris Sale's contract, should be fireable. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If that guy's in charge and he doesn't have the conviction to pull off a trade like that, now we're talking about back-to-back duds at the trade deadline. He didn't do anything last trade deadline. The only trade that he made last trade deadline was for Eric Hosmer, who he then cut. The only trade he made this trade deadline is Luis Urias, who's going to get cut at the end of this year. I'm sorry, but he's shown his hand. He's not a big league general manager. And if you can't understand that, I can't help you. That's all there really is to it. So again, I just wanted to address the comments because – holy fuck, are you people so fucking stupid? Anyway, I still want an interview for the job. So if you're listening, John Henry, call me because you can't do better, and that's just a fact. So